The section there is around GC Strategies was providing people.
No, sir. You, the CBSA, said that GC Strategies provided a proposal. The Auditor General confirmed it did not. So the question is very simple. Why is the CBSA actively misleading the Auditor General in the performance of her role? It really begs to mind the cozy relationship that Government of Canada Strategies has with the CBSA. Second case in point, there was a reference to a $25 million sole source contract going to GC Strategies, and the CBSA invited Government of Canada Strategies to write their own contract. If that's not showing favoritism to GC Strategies, I don't know what is.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alberta News and Views. Today is another day in Canada with another scandal, another committee with another witness, and another testimony of dodging questions and avoiding the truth and pointing fingers at everybody. We're going to watch the second chunk with legendary Larry Brock at the Government Operations and Estimates Committee. This is in regards to ArriveCAN app scam, and it is good. But first, I am sure you have heard today that there was a boat that struck a Baltimore bridge gantry and collapsed this thing. Now, I'm going to show you this clip that is sped up 8 times. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to say anything and put little seeds in your brain about what might or could have been. This is sped up 8 times. And I am sure that any child can figure this out. Hole in one. That's what that is. Yeah. You have to be very trusting to believe that it is anything other than a perfect putt. Give me a break. Here is legendary Larry Brock.
Why would the CBSA deliberately mislead the Auditor General in saying that you received a proposal from Government of Canada Strategies when in fact you did not? Why would they deliberately mislead?
Cover up.
I'm not aware of that, and I'm sure.
You read the Auditor General report?
Well, I've read the Auditor General's report, but
did you not read that section?
Well, the section there is around GC Strategies was providing people.
No, sir. You, the CBSA, said that GC Strategies provided a proposal. The Auditor General confirmed it did not. So the question is very simple. Why is the CBSA actively misleading the Auditor General in the performance of her role? It really begs to mind the cozy relationship that Government of Canada Strategies has with the CBSA. Second case in point, there was a reference to a $25 million sole source contract going to GC Strategies, and the CBSA invited Government of Canada Strategies to write their own contract. If that's not showing favoritism to GC Strategies, I don't know what is. So what is going on at the CBSA to allow these highly irregular and suspicious contracting practices with Christian Firth and Darren Anthony of Government of Canada Strategies?
So as I've said before, that is not permitted under the rules and regulations. And
but it happened.
It happened, and so
who was responsible for that?
That's what the investigation is considered.
Surely, sir, you must have some suspicion. Were you personally involved in allowing GC to do that?
I was not involved in GC Strategies at all.
Are you prepared to name names, sir? Are you preparing to speak truth to power? Are you protecting your president?
I'm not protecting anybody. My understanding is that's all being looked at as part of the investigation.
Who's looking into it?
The investigation and also the RCMP. And
you're talking about Mr. Lafleur, the so-called independent investigator that reports to Ms. O'Gorman?
He is the internal investigator.
Right.
Just like
he's not independent.
And the RCMP are independent, and they are also looking at the
RCMP is independent.
I am not aware of how the status of that. What I am aware of is, it has been longer than our normal standard operating procedures. So Our service standards are 120 working days to complete an investigation. It has been longer than that.
I can tell you, Canadian taxpayers are very disappointed in the operations of the CBSA, sir.
That is our time, gentlemen. Mr. Baines, please.
We're beyond disappointed. I really hope, I truly do, that with my podcast, all of you people out there are starting to get an idea of the world that you are living in. The actual reality of this world that you're living in, it isn't what it seems. Now, to just end off, I'm going to show you, there is so much going on. There is distraction, lots of distraction, keeping you from seeing what is happening in your country around you. So you keep on being just a busy bee, and it's just business as usual for you, but it shouldn't be. Stuff like this. So Ottawa's spending is growing twice the pace of revenue as interest climbs. Now, I'm going to be talking about this later on today. Interest payments are up 36 compared to the previous year. Our revenues are up 3%. Let me say that again. Interest payments are up 36%. Revenue is up 3%. So imagine if this was your household. Your credit card all of a sudden went up 36% on interest, but you're only making an extra 3%. That is Canada right now, people. This is directly correlated with it and come out the very same day. The Bank of Canada warns of low productivity emergency, making it harder to control inflation. Yesterday in my video, when I was talking about the finances, and nobody wants to hear this, we are living in the early 80s right now. And I said our dollar is vulnerable. It may devalue down to 60-some cents to the American dollar. And interest rates are going to skyrocket because productivity, our revenue, is nothing. And on top of that, they've brought in all of these engineers and these nurses and tradespeople that aren't contributing, that are standing in lines to get a job. So our unemployment rate unofficially has just skyrocketed because there isn't enough productivity or work for all of these nurses, engineers, and doctors that are in Canada. Please understand what is going on around you. Follow me on Substack and Spotify. All of you out there, like, share, and take care.